means it's time for Financial Focus. Steve Budin is here. Steve, good to see you.
You too.
How was your weekend?
Not too bad. You?
Thanks for coming in. It was great. I had a great weekend. Let's talk finance. Let's get to our first point this week. The Feds are meeting.
Yep. Fed meets a couple of times a year, 6 times every couple of months. So the April meeting is happening Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They usually release a statement when the meeting is over. And the big anticipation that the market is waiting for is if and when they will announce rates will go up, interest rates, I should say. Now, last meeting, the market was anticipating that they were going to raise rates in June, which is only 2 months away. But the economic data that has been coming out the last couple of months has kind of priced in the Fed waiting, and we're expecting confirmation of that. The Fed has been pretty dovish over the last few years, meaning that there are no rush to raise rates. So I don't really expect any surprises, but the stock, bond markets, everybody is waiting to see what the statement actually does say for any hints of when that timetable might change.
So could that be good news for someone looking to buy a home?
Potentially. If the rates stay low and they don't raise them, clearly mortgage rates will stay where they are. And these rates are historic lows. In fact, I spoke to somebody just this morning, and we were talking about him purchasing a home and taking out a mortgage, and I said, yeah, these rates, very tough to not do it.
Yeah, so we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have been talking about the stock market. Yep. They hit some records, in fact, this past... Today, and then it's been kind of a roller coaster, though. Yep,
and I knew I would jinx it, so I put the question mark at the end here because I sent this over this morning, and at the time I sent it over, most of the 3 major stock indexes hit a record. They've pulled back a little bit, but it's showing that the stock market right now does not anticipate the Fed raising rates, because if they did, the market would probably go down a little bit. The markets are awash in funds, and the Fed, I think, is going to continue that. So if the stock market is any indication, the Fed is not going to do anything too drastic this week.
Is this a good time to be a short-term investor?
Never a good time to be a short-term investor.
Never a good time. All right.
You know that. Come on.
I know, but I thought I'd ask, right? A lot of people out there wondering that.
Yeah.
And then the third point on our Financial Focus board today is what worries investors? And you're telling me that some studies came out and some interesting results.
Yeah, it was actually kind of eye-opening to me. There's an old adage that stock markets climb walls of worry. And when you don't worry, then things become bubbly, like real estate markets years ago or tech bubbles years ago. But investors were surveyed over the last couple of months, and there were 3 main concerns, 2 of which I think are pretty legitimate. The geopolitics, everything going on in the world, and surprisingly to me, healthcare costs was one of the top 3. And I think it's because, and myself included, I've had this issue with my health insurance. As the new policies are kicking in, you're seeing higher deductibles, you're seeing higher co-pays, and people are beginning to wonder how are they going to pay for that going forward.
Yeah.
I just had to renew some prescriptions, and the co-pays went up pretty substantially, and it didn't happen when I was renewing it, obviously, and now it really hit me. And I think more investors are seeing that. But it actually is pretty healthy that investors worry. When they don't worry is when you begin to have problems.
And your example, certainly something that people worry about, as you mentioned, because you can really see it coming out of your pocket, something that the average American deals with.
Right, and it's something that you may or may not be spending on something else, right? If you're going to renew a prescription, that could be money put towards a car or a house or going out for dinner or going to the movies. So that's real-time discretionary income, and more people are beginning to see and beginning to worry about it. Nothing that raises too much of a concern just yet, but the investor worries studies are always important.
All right, Steve, good to see you. We'll be right back here on Midday. Stay with us, everyone.